Next, the other page. Yeah,
That style.
Ooh, that's cool.
I don't know which hair is bloody built.
Okay, so these are the superficial masseters. Okay. Jaw muscles. Superficial masseter. Okay. Right in the middle. This is digastric, and it goes down like this on both sides.
Digastric.
Digastric. Okay. In the middle, there's a muscle. This has been cut open, but yours will look more like that. Okay. It's connecting the sternum to the hyoid. So sternohyoid.
Sternohyoid.
Sternohyoid. When you cut it open like this, you can see the trachea. Okay, that white thing right there, that's the trachea. Okay? Muscle next to it, this one, is connecting the sternum to the mastoid back here. Sternomastoid on both sides. That one too. Sternomastoid. And then the next one over, which has been really nicely done on this one. Sometimes you have to like push this over and find it. But this one is connecting the clavicle to the cervical vertebrae. Clitocervicalis. Clitocervicalis.
Clitocervicalis.
Clavicle is clito is clavicle. Okay, so clitocervicalis. It's connecting the clavicle to the cervical vertebrae. Clitocervicalis. Okay. All right. The next one we're gonna find here connects the clavicle to the arm. So clitobrachialis. Okay, and it's pretty much always delineated by this vein right here. Okay, clitobrachialis. All right, pectoralis muscle is pretty easy. It's chest muscle, and it goes down to here, like all this. Pectoralis. Okay, and then linea alba. Does anyone have an actual? Can you see your rat? Just flip it over. You see this white line? That white line right there? That's linea alba. Linea alba means literally white line.
Linea alba.
Linea alba. And that's it for this side. So now, can you flip the page to the side view? Alrighty. So, this is cervical trapezius. Okay, cervical trapezius. And then it goes all the way down to right here. Okay, so from here to up to here. That's cervical trapezius. And then this little muscle right here, it's triangular shaped in the diagram, and it's usually triangular shaped. I don't know why this one's sort of more rectangle. It should be more like that. But right there, that's omotransversarius. Omo means shoulder. So omotransversarius means a muscle that traverses the shoulder. So omotransversarius. Okay? This is triceps brachii long head. This is triceps brachii lateral head. Okay, so on the test it's all four words. Triceps brachii long head, triceps brachii lateral head. Okay, so lateral side of the arm, lateral head, triceps brachii lateral head. The back of the arm where the muscle is longer, triceps brachii long head. Okay? Okay, spinal deltoid. So on this picture, the rat's arm is like this. So the spinal deltoid is kind of like curved. This is the spinal deltoid. But when on a lot of the rats they're like this. So the spinal deltoid is more rectangular. So in the manual on the diagram, it's the rats like that. So that's why the spinal deltoid is curved like that. Okay? This is the latissimus dorsi. Okay? So like on us, it's like a back muscle that like you work out when you do pull-ups and stuff.
You're like,
If you're doing pull-ups, like or lat pull down or whatever. So lat means they're like building up your lats. Like there's the lats is the latissimus dorsi. They're abbreviating latissimus dorsi. Okay, so if you've seen like super crazy bodybuilders and they can't like pull their arms all the way straight down, it's because their lats are so big. This is thoracic trapezius. So remember cervical trapezius? This part right here is thoracic trapezius. And then this white stuff is connective tissue called thoracolumbar fascia. Fascia means connective tissue. Okay, so thoracolumbar means it's connecting the thorax to the lumbar region. This is thoracolumbar fascia. Okay? Cutaneous trunci. That's this muscle right here. It connects directly to the skin. It's connecting the trunk to the skin. So cutaneous trunci. So cutaneous means skin, right?
Cutaneous?
Cutaneous trunci. Cutaneous trunci. So most of your rats are going to be missing this muscle because a lot of people rip this off when they skin the rat. It's not, it's, you know, which just happens. This one. So just know it for the practical. Your rat might not have it, but you need to know this muscle because it's a special muscle that connects directly to the skin. Most muscles don't connect to skin. Connect to bone to bone, you know. One muscle to muscle. But yeah, cutaneous trunci. Okay? And then you see these little ribs and there's little V's on them. Little down pointing V's. Those are serratus ventralis. If the V's point down, ventralis. And then if you reflect this back a little, you see those up pointing V's? Those are dorsalis, serratus dorsalis. Okay? Does that make sense? The only way you're going to see serratus dorsalis is if this latissimus dorsi has been bent back like that and pinned. Okay? Or removed. So if you see on the test a pin that's like here and the latissimus dorsi has been removed, we're probably asking you for serratus dorsalis. Okay? If the pin's down here and the latissimus dorsi is fine, it's not been removed, but the pin's like down here, and you see a down pointing V, that's ventralis, serratus ventralis. Okay? Teres major and infraspinatus are two really small muscles that are fairly hard to find. So I'm pretty sure that this is teres major right here, and then you kind of have to push this spinal deltoid to the side to see that muscle underneath right there. That's infraspinatus. So it's pretty hard to see, and we usually, like, if we're gonna label it, because it's on the manual, it's like 1, 2, they're right next to each other on the manual. So usually what we do on our practical, if we're gonna label teres major, is we put a pin in teres major and ask you what muscle is this, and then we ask you what muscle is directly anterior to this muscle, which means infraspinatus, because there's these two are supposed to be on the same plane, and spinal deltoid is kind of like above them. Okay? So sort of remember that, I guess, in case we ask that on the practical. And then the last thing that you can or cannot do, whatever, should or shouldn't. I guess you should do it, but you don't have to. You can do it next time. You want to look at the different oblique muscles. So all of this is external oblique. The muscle fibers are running like this, and you kind of have to like brush it, and then you're not going to see it on the camera for sure, but I mean, just look straight down at it and be like, okay, I see muscle fibers going this way. That's external oblique, okay? The reason I say like you can do this next time is because we're going to cut this open, and then you can cut this open and deflect it like this, and like you can actually see that. I can see these muscle fibers are running this way. It's opposite to this one. That's internal oblique. And then there's a muscle fiber, or there's a layer that's in between these two called transverse abdominis, and it runs directly up and down, like straight up and down. So what you can do is cut a rectangle into external oblique and remove external oblique, and you'll see transverse abdominis, a muscle fiber that's going straight up and down like this. Okay? And then you cut another layer down into this rectangle and pull it off, and you should see external or internal oblique, which is running opposite to external oblique like this. Okay? You can do it next time. You can do it now. Whatever. This is probably the hardest thing to do because people cut too deep. So if you don't see it, don't freak out. Just remember transverse abdominis, straight up and down. If you can recognize that on the practical, super. If you can realize that this is internal, that's external. Good to go. Okay, that's it. That's all we're doing today. And the, external anatomy stuff. If you have any questions about that. No.